DNA to make sure that they didn't get it.
Exactly. I am going to be the one to call for it by myself. For those of you who don't know, this is my husband. I am going to be the one to...
Are you serious? Some people don't know.
Maybe, I don't know. Some people may not know.
Are you serious?
But I am going to be the one to call for the test by myself, because I don't know why any woman will have an issue with doing a DNA test. Why should any woman have an issue with carrying out a DNA test if you're sure that the man that you're with is the actual father of your child? What is your point on it? For example, we have a baby and you say, go do a DNA test, and I don't do the test. What will be your response? You're just going to accept it? Don't accept it, oh. The heart of man is desperately wicked. Don't accept it.
Me, I don't trust any woman myself.
Okay, great. Because as a matter of fact, you can't trust the hospital, but you trust me, don't you?
But in your last video, you said people should only trust God, so I'm only trusting God.
Anyway, so yes, guys, the hospital can make a mistake. As a woman, personally, I myself, it is something that I'm going to want to do if I see that maybe the hospital is shady, or I see that whatever happens that day, maybe I was knocked out. I don't pray for that. I pray to deliver with so much ease. So I have my baby in my hand. But if not, before we leave the hospital, we're doing a DNA test. So men, be careful.
I think you have a good point though, because when you look at the Nigerian system, especially, you know, the way the hospital is structured, some persons just give, you know, they don't even know if you give birth, the way the hospital looks like, if you give birth, they can just easily...
They put the baby everywhere.
Yeah.
The baby's everywhere. The baby's with other babies.
No tag, like when you have a baby here in North America, automatically they put a tag there. But when you have a baby in Nigeria,
they just put the baby in the baby room. And every baby looks alike. So even you as a mother, how would you know the one that is your baby? Maybe...
I'm even sure that some of the hospitals are in the business of giving some kind of baby, changing baby for
exactly, people. Especially when you have a son, they go and exchange the son with a daughter.
Yeah, it's true.
So why would you be, you know, opposed to the fact to do a DNA test? Why would you be opposed to it? Men, any woman, including my husband, any woman that you mention DNA test to and she's shaking, please, uncle, that day should not pass. Go to the hospital. Get whatever you need to get from the child and go to the hospital. And babe, but some men are the reason why some women act this way. Some men, their attitude, their character, like, I don't know if you read the story of the woman who left her husband immediately they got to Canada. Maybe that woman has been suffering.Maybe she has been enduring for years. And so at the end of the day, when she got the opportunity, now that she's in Canada, she doesn't want the marriage anymore.
That's called, okay, that's the topic you are saying, deceit.
Yes, deceit.
Well, so that kind of woman, the man just need to be patient with her. Then anytime she go back to Nigeria, just find a way to cut off her leg or something. That's it now. You just need to be patient with that kind of woman. She must come back to Nigeria one day now. A story that came to our office now, one woman that used to live in Spain with her kids. Sometime 4 years ago, the woman came back to Nigeria. The family came back to Nigeria on a visit. And the man took the document and ran away. So the woman has been struggling for the past 4 years. So a lot of women do a lot of things thinking that that's the end of the world. You understand? It's the truth. A lot of women do a lot of things to men thinking that that's the end of the world. Like the stupid guy that went to kill himself. How can you kill yourself at the age of 45?
I was coming to that. Why would you kill yourself?
It doesn't make sense. My own view is that as a man, if your woman deceives you, thinking that because of what you did in the past, she patiently waited for her to be able to use that.
You patiently wait.
Yeah, you too have to patiently wait. 20 years is not forever.
Okay.
It's a fact. It happens here, especially in North America. A lot of women, they come here, their husband put them through a nursing school, they become a nurse, and later they leave their husband. Right? This is Canada. This is America. Hey, man, just patiently wait. 20 years is not forever. And that's my take.
Faith is okay. Yeah. She must have gone through hell, I agree. But babe, honestly, I would say not just about the past. There are men who are still doing whatever they're doing even now. There are men who are still committing adultery. There are men who are still hurting their wives. It's not enough to say, oh, you two wait for her. No. If as a man, babe, you know you cannot tolerate me when we're sleeping at night talking to my boyfriend, why should a man be doing that? Well, why do you wait? Babe, wait. Can you answer this? Why do you men think it is not okay for you to catch your wife cheating, but it is okay for you to bring home a second wife and a side baby? What gives you the impression that women are okay with that?
I mean, it is not okay for men to do that, but at the end of the day, you know, every one of us have feeling. But then again, it's an individual differences. There are some women that prefer their husband or their boyfriend to have more than one girl. There are some women that deprive pleasure from their husband or their boyfriend having a side chick. All right, and there are some women who also don't like that. So that's why it's important in a relationship, you have to get the kind of woman or the kind of man that fits your lifestyle. It's very important.
Babe, I know you are of this opinion and you always say this, but I put it to you that in such a relationship, there's no love, there's no care.
That's what you think.
No, it's not what I think.
In my earlier days, when I was driving a taxi in America at a very young age, I used to have this couple. Forgot their name, but they live in a very, very nice environment in the Westlake area of Austin. You know, every weekend I always take them to a location. This location I take them to is always fenced, and I never get to go in. They say, "Oh, come back and pick me up by 2 a.m." They give me good tip. The fare was about $40, but they always give me $100, right? So on a very good day,
no, it's okay.
So on a very good day, I was very curious to see what is going on, right? Then I asked this man, "Sir, what is going on in there?" They never wanted to tell me. This relationship, they have been in a relationship for 18 years. They have 2 kids. On a good day, they now opened up to me that place they go to is a swinger club. You know what's a swinger?
They exchange partners?
Yes, the man bring his wife, another man bring his wife, they exchange, they have sex, and they go home.
That is
so why would a normal human being think that is okay? But they have been together for 18 years. You know why? Because they both love doing the same thing. So the biggest problem in relationship is not deceit. The biggest problem in relationship is couples not getting the kind of relationship they want. I personally have come to the point whereby I don't believe in compromise in relationship. All right? Before any person marry, they must make sure that the person they are marrying to love what they love. You understand? Because that's where money problem comes in, you know, whereby relationships, this one love one thing, this one love one thing, both of them have different opinions. People say compromise in marriage. I am of the opinion now, at least I can also advise people in relationship because I've been married to you now about 4 years. I am of the opinion that before you marry somebody, make sure that person loves what you love.
Loves cheating, loves exchanging partners.
That
is not the will of God for marriage.
It's not the will of God, but it is what is happening. They are making relationship. Do you know that the relationship whereby many women accept that they are cheat or their husband may cheat at the relationship that lasts the longest? Ask why.
I mean, simply because there is no love. That marriage is not a marriage of convenience.
That's what you don't understand. It's not about saying there's no love. What is love? Love is understanding.
Of course, love is commitment. Love is considering your partner's feelings. And then, for example, you know what? I don't think that you should be searching out for the person who likes what you like. Marriage is to complement each other, to help you in areas where you're weak. So a man who likes to commit sin, because I'm talking about believers. I'm not talking about people who are gay. I'm not talking about people who are, whatever. I am talking about believers.
I understand what you're saying. We are saying it when you are saying deceit, right? You should not only base it based on your own religion ideas.
No,
right?
but those are the people I'm addressing.
Okay, well, good. But it should be a general topic, right? Because your own religion, as much as you love God, there are some people who love Allah as much as you love God.
Of course,
there are some people
who
love Mami Water as much as you love God. So your love for God, when you talk about deceit on your relationship goals topic, it should be a general discussion. It should be not just the way you say it. Because what you think, you're thinking that, okay, man must not cheat, but there are some women who are willing to even bring a girl for their husband.
Sarah did it.
Okay.
Well, what happened at the end of the day? She sent the woman away. She forced her husband to sleep with the woman because she was unable to conceive. At the end of the day, she said, you cannot stay here, you must go, because she became pregnant. So we've seen all these things. However you want to turn it, the Bible is explicitly clear. And as believers, our standard for living is the Bible. As believers, I don't know your religion, but I call you to Christ because that is the only true God. That is the only true way. And so I'm not going to begin to try to consider what is outside of the Bible. I'm not going to try to begin to think about what is not in the Bible, because that is not how I was formed. I was created by God, and He has given me a manual to live. So if people are gay, people are homosexuals, I am not judgmental, but what I am teaching is God's standard for marriage. Marriage is God's institution. If you want to be frolicking about, if you want to be sleeping with different people, then don't get married. How can you say you don't believe in God and you go get married and exchange vows? God instituted that. How can I say I don't like you and I'm going to a school that you created? How can I say I hate you, I don't want to follow your principles, your ideas, and I'm going to your school? Marriage is what God created. God instituted marriage.
God instituted so many things, right?
And so man is now bringing his own idea
that is not
into
falling in place anymore. There are so many
because
men
of the deceit of the world.
There are so many men of God who have left their wives.
Of
there are
course.
so many women of God who have left their
Of
husbands.
course.
Right? So if we have to go based on what the Bible says, the marriage is supposed to be for better, for worse.
No, there are grounds for divorce, especially if you catch your wife committing adultery. If you break the vow for marriage, if your wife or your husband breaks the vow of the marriage and you cannot forgive, it's too painful, then you can let it go. God does not like it, because what brings about divorce is sin. So when people say, oh, God does not like divorce, so you must not divorce. But what brings about divorce is what God does not like. Because for divorce to happen, and because, of course, the Bible says because of the strongness of your heart, you cannot forgive your wife, then you can send her packing. God hates what is behind divorce, not the fact that you both have to go. You cannot tell me God hates divorce because you are divorcing somebody that is beating you.
I respect all your opinions about the Bible. All right, and you know that I respect all your opinions about the Bible, but my views are always different, and you cannot change that. All right, all your views about the Bible, I respect it. All right, I personally believe that once you are married, you are married. Once you, even if your husband cheats on you 10 times, that's where your forgiveness comes in.
And what if your wife cheats on you 10 times?
Then you have to forgive too. If you are willing to accept it for your wife to cheat on you and forgive, then you have to do that. It's a matter of individual differences, right? There are some men who are willing to accept that, oh, my wife cheated on me, I forgive her, let's move. There are some men that cannot stand it. It's a matter of choice. All right? So I personally think that once you are married, you have to deal with every single thing you see in that marriage. And I think it's a weakness for anyone who has stood in the altar for better, for worse, for richer, for poorer, for sickness, and anything that happens, you start running, oh, my husband cheated on me, oh, my wife. No, I think it's unfair. Great.
I do also understand why you will go on the altar and vow, out of all the girls, you chose one particular one for reasons best known to you, for a nose, for a mouth, for an eye, for whatever reason, and at the end of the day, you go commit adultery. Why would a man commit adultery after taking those vows?
The reality is 99% of men cheat, and except me. That makes me a very good man. 99%.
Great. You're lucky you said it like that.
99% of men do cheat. All right? That's just the truth. You know, 99% of men cheat. Even those men who stand in the altar every single day praying for those who repent. Man, no man of God will put their hands on my head, man. You know, because at the end of the day...
You know, I was telling you, sorry to cut you. You know, I was telling you, I totally agree with you. I was telling you that I hardly listen to some African pastors. Why? Because of what you just said. They do these things. Even worse than unbelievers. Even worse than unbelievers, they do these things. So I totally agree with you that pastors commit adultery. Pastors make advances at choristers, at choir members and all that. But what I want you to understand here today is that I know that there are different opinions in the world. I know that there are different, views, different aspects to view a situation. But what is your standard? That's my question to you today. Are you going to begin to live your life at every time thinking of what A, B, C, D would have done? For you to have a life that is purposeful, for you to attain the vision that you have for your life, you need to have a standard for your life. And my messages are for those who their standard is the word of God. And if you are getting into an institution, the standard for the institution should be what the person that created the institution has already put in place. If I want to work at a God-sent foundation, I cannot go against your rule. I can go work elsewhere. I can decide not to work. But don't enter marriage, take vows on the altar, and begin to do it your way. It's most likely going to fail. And you're going to give account. On that day, God is not going to say, hey, okay, because both of you agreed, so it's now no more a sin. Okay, because both of you accepted it, it's no more a sin.
We are saying the same thing, man. We are saying the same thing. All right? Marriage is for two people who are willing to live their life together forever. When a sin is a sin, adultery is a sin, stealing is a sin, lying is a sin. I don't think there's anywhere in the Bible that's talking about this sin is greater than this sin. I think every sin has its same level of punishment. I may be wrong. I don't study the Bible like it. But at the end of the day, every sin can be forgiven. No matter the sin you commit, you say, God, forgive me. Like you said, I'm turning a new leaf. Your sin is wiped away. That's why you call people every day after the church service. The pastor saying, if you know you have sinned against God, come on. So every time you commit a sin, you can be forgiven. So if this is true, then that should be the principle many people should abide to. That look, there is nothing God cannot do. If you have a cheating husband, you should continue to believe. If you believe that God can make a blind person see, then you should also believe that God can change your man. You should also believe that God can make that bad relationship a beautiful relationship. And that's the way it works. You understand? So enjoy your program. Continue to talk to women. But for real, marriages, relationships, it's coming to a point whereby in this world, the world is changing, obviously.
Because the devil is gaining control of the minds of a lot of persons. It's the end time.
The world is changing, and I think that a time will come now whereby people will not be getting married anymore.
That is the deception of the devil.
So the time will come now, because it's already happening. Majority of people now, especially in North America, people don't get married anymore. People don't get married anymore. They just have a baby mama. And I think that time is coming very soon, whereby there's going to be a lot of single persons in this world. And for those of you who are happily married, I wish you all the best. And for those of you who are looking to get married, my wife's opinion is different from my opinion. For those of you who are looking to get married, the first step of getting married is to make sure you marry a person that loves everything you do.
Not everything. It can't be everything.
Why not?
Is she the exact same as you?
There are people who are exactly like you. You don't know that?
No, I mean, at the end of the day, babe, there's still going to be friction.
Yeah, of course. There's compromise. Okay, let's say majority of the things you do. Let's say everything. Let's say the person must like exactly what you do. It will not be a problem.
Yes, but then, babe, we cannot include sin into it now.
No.
Babe, I married you. I loved you or whatever because you help people, you reach out to people and stuff. You cannot now tell me, okay, we need to like everything, like for example, cheating, and for example, let me say men that smoke. Now you need to marry a woman who likes smoking. Those are baseless. Those should not be.
That's a big part of me, charity, right? That's why you fell in love with me, right? So it means that outside of charity, if I wasn't a charity, a humanitarian.
And I like your laugh, other things.
Okay. If I wasn't a humanitarian, there's a good chance that we may not consider each other, right? But the fact that you saw me and you told me that, oh, my dad is the same way you love me, okay, we're not married. But my point remains that if a man and a woman is going to get together, they must love the same thing for the relationship to move forward. And obviously because
they must be compatible.
Obviously because you love charity, and that's why we are still together, right? You love that part of me very, very much. Okay, just imagine like you now, you love to minister the word of God, which I 100% I support you. You have a dream to have a shelter for women. I support you, right? There are some men who may not accept that. I could be,
then you're right. That,
okay,
yes.
I could be indoor and I tell you, I don't need to do that.
Yes.
You won't do it.
Yes, you're right on that.
There are some men, there are some women who love just to go dancing, who love club, who love social life.
Yes.
And there are some men who don't like it.
Yes.
So when the wife is about to go out, you say, where you they go again? You say, baby, I just want to go dancing. You say, no, you can't go out. Then it becomes a problem. So you have to define it and make sure you end up with somebody you like.
Yes, I mean, absolutely, babe, you're right on that. Like, you have to be compatible for the things that matter. You need to both like kids. You need to love what each other does. Like, what I'm saying is, smoking and all that. I don't think those should now come. Cheating,
it should not come.
baby mama.
Okay,
those are not important.
Imagine.
But every other thing, yes, at least to an extent, even though she's not perfectly in love with it, but she should support you.
Imagine you meet a guy. You meet a guy who smokes, all right? Obviously, maybe possibly you met him at a bar or a lounge. You saw him smoking, right? You not met this guy with the belief that you can make him stop smoking. Later, along the relationship, every once in a while, he has an urge. You go ahead and smoke. He gets home, you smell smoke in the shirt. You start your quarrel, so you'll be smoking again, but you knew this guy was smoking before now.
I understand.
Okay, so that is why it is a smoking person should also marry a person who doesn't mind that the man smokes, with the hope that it can stop it in the future. Man, do your thing, man. I wish you all the best. with your stories.
Okay. I believe we've even gone farther than we were going to go with this topic. But yes, yes. So some people are saying they love Facebook. Their husband hates Facebook. Their husband is not on Facebook. But they have to compromise somehow. And you cannot really get someone who, you know, agrees with you 100% on every single thing, right? For the things that matter, yes. Like I do Facebook, I preach. For example, if I married a man who doesn't like a woman who is on Facebook, who is showing her face on Facebook, that would be a problem for me. So I totally agree that on some levels, on some grounds, yes.
When I married you, I was the one that
they said you should come back.
When I married my wife, I was the one that put her on social media. I was the one that put my wife on social media because I found out that she had so much to offer. When I married my wife, the win-win Facebook, she only had about 100 followers. I was the one that told her, you know what, you have so much to give, you love to sing, you have a good message, come online. When I put my wife online, I put her phone number on it.
That's because you trust me.
That's because I am confident in myself. It has nothing to do with trust. Me. No, it has nothing to do with trust. Because I could trust you, but that trust could change. Trust could change because anything can happen in a relationship. I put your number on social media. People call you all hours of the day, but I never give a. This is a Christian page. I want to say I never give a damn. Let me keep quiet. But I never cared, right? I never cared because I knew that, look, as a man, you have got to support your relationship. You have got to support your wife, your husband to achieve their dream. So believe me, while I was doing that, a lot of persons called me and said, Dion, why do you put your wife on social media? Let's remove her from social media. Let her stay indoor. Social media will break your home. But there's a lot of people believe that. But I don't. So if I have believed that and listened, you probably would have been indoors, you know, not affecting lives like you are doing. People call you every day for counseling. You talk to women. Sometimes you spend 2 hours. I don't mind. All right? Because I know that that's your dream. All right? So imagine you marry a person who is jealous, who is not confident, who don't believe in you. This could have been a problem. Because at the end of the day, you really want to do this, I am stopping you from it. You can never be happy, right? So, and I think that relationship is a very, very important for me. I don't know about your opinion. Once you are getting married, make sure you are marrying somebody that you can be compatible with. Love
very important.
Is not enough for marriage.
At all.
You understand?
No.
Love is not.
That's going to be our next topic.
Love is not enough for marriage. You can love somebody, but you don't need to marry who you love.
Yeah.
Marry who will
help you fulfill destiny.
Fulfill destiny, yeah. And marry somebody who you are compatible with.
Yeah.
All right. So,
but not compatibility with sin, though.
No,
because there are men who have built on fornication and they want to enter marriage. They're looking for a woman who's going to be okay with committing sin. The word of God says, shall we continue in sin that the grace of God may abide? God forbid. So, of course, I agree with you in every other way, but not with sin, not with cheating, not with abuse. I know you would also say there are some women who like their husband to beat them. No, not with sin. That's not God's plan for marriage. That's not his original idea for marriage. So with everything, yes, get a woman who, if you're running a business, she's business oriented. She will help you go open store. If you're into charity, get a woman who has a heart for charity, who does not mind you using your money to fund other people, who does not mind you using your money to buy food for other people, who is not into your account like, hey, you don't buy a bag of rice for this person. I mean, if it's genuine, right? Marry such a woman. If you're into singing, marry a woman who doesn't mind hearing loud noise at night because you're going to be rehearsing your song. But don't now be looking for a woman who will take your cheating. Don't be looking for a woman who will take your sleeping around. Don't be looking for a woman who's going to take your coming home by 2 a.m. That is not godly. Remain single, because even though she accepts it, you are torturing her. There is no woman. You put a team, except the woman doesn't see you as the flesh of her flesh, bone of her bone. Then she sees you doing anyhow or going to destruction, and she will not be concerned. She will just leave you to be doing. No, then that woman doesn't love you. So be compatible, yes, very important, because love, a lot of people say they want to define love. Love has no definition. Actually,
you are only talking from one side of the point or one side view. Okay. When you are talking about marriage, we're talking about relationship or being together, you have to look at both sides. You know, marry a man. Do you know that there are some women who are also looking for a man of the type you don't need to marry? There are women looking for a man that smoke to marry. There are women looking for a man they can go to club with. There are women looking for a man that can be sleeping with them and their friend. All these things are possible. So general solution to a better marriage is to marry a man or a woman that love the same thing as you.
Not including sin. That's my taste.
But that's your take because you are a Christian.
Yeah, because people want to live in sin. I cannot encourage, babe.
No, on this perspective,
babe, you should not be encouraging people.
We are not encouraging sin.
Yeah.
We are not encouraging sin. You look at it as a sin. All right,
but it's wrong.
Everybody have their freedom of expression.
Okay.
In America, where we have the #1 country in the world that promotes Christianity, a man is illegal for a man to marry a man. A woman can marry a woman.
That is sin.
Well, that's you. But we are living in an era whereby
the devil has taken over
so
the world.
Maybe the devil has taken over. But my stand remains the same, that as a veteran in marriage, if you are going to marry, make sure you marry a woman that loves what you do, not the woman you love.
Sin. Yes.
Not the woman you love.
Yes. Not including sin. I totally agree.
But not the woman you love.
I totally
because
agree.
If I'm not a diplomatic man, I love to go out. Thank God that you don't even try to stop me when I go out. Because it would have been a big problem. I mean, it would have been a big problem if I want to go out.
I like to go out too, not just to some of the places that you like to go.
But I mean, of course, when I go out, hang out sometime, I'm around people who smoke, right? I would not like to put you there when I know that you hate smoke. All right, so I thank God that you don't say, "Oh,
we've compromised."
So now that one, because I forgot divorce you, man.
Oh my God!
I forgot divorce you.
Okay, so at the end of the day, he just spoke about compromise because that's also very important. You know, there are some things that you can compromise about, and there are some things that you should not compromise, especially when it is sin, right? Like him going out or him being around his friends. I cannot begin to say, oh, it's 365 days. You cannot go be with your friends. I totally understand that. We like different people. We like different things. Like our friends might not be on the same race. They might not have the same standards for life. So you can hang out and I can also hang out, and we can hang out when our friends are mutual. We have mutual friends who value the same things and stuff like that, because I would not be able to, you know, cohabit if maybe for my life's purpose, he's not allowing me. We would definitely be getting a divorce if that were to be the case. But able to come to a compromise. Okay, so you can compromise, you can do your Facebook, and I've compromised. You can go out, you can be with your friends, as long as these friends are not, you know, going to be leading you to sin, because we still have that talk. As a woman, you should be able to speak to your husband as well, and also be sure of the kind of friends that they keep. Yes, be sure of the kind of friends that they keep, because some friends are only out to destroy your marriage. Some friends are only out to destroy everything that you've been trying to build for a very long time. So you have to know the kind of friend that your wife is keeping. You have to know the kind of friend that your husband is keeping. Okay, so when it comes to going out, of course, you should not put your spouse in a cage, because at the end of the day, the more you cage, the more they want to go out. So in marriages, you should be able to also come to a compromise, and there is no compromise for sin. I do not accept that, oh, you will not go and be looking for a woman that will accept cheating. No, you should not go and be looking for a woman that will accept coming home at 2 a.m. No, there is no woman that will be happy with that, except she doesn't love you, except she has married you for your money. Like even the example he gave the example of a woman who she and her husband, they were so rich, they were living in a mansion, they were living really, really well, and they would go to a swingers club. Maybe that woman is in that marriage and she's tolerating that because of the money. And some of you men too, you are deceived because your wife is tolerating your